everybody, welcome to the Loved and Listened to channel. My name is Nicole and welcome back to another edition of Mental Health Mondays, the series where I give you a quick tip on how to deal with some mental health issue. Today's issue is going to be quite personal, so I'm going to just quickly talk about the number one thing that has been negatively affecting my personal mental health over the past couple of weeks, and that is chronic pain. So if you have been watching some of my other videos, or even if you have not, you may know that I currently suffer from fibroids, and like a lot of women do, it's a very common thing. For some women, they don't have really many symptoms, but unfortunately for me, over time the symptoms have become more and more unpleasant. And thanks to those pesky fibroids, I have unfortunately endured a lot of back pain, pelvic pain, like cramping, lots of pain over the past 2 weeks, and also the past several years, probably about since 2019 or so, when my experience with having fibroids began to really take a toll, well, take a turn for the worse, so to speak. So I did already make a video about how I figured out, or how I learned to control the excessive bleeding that I personally have, and a lot of women have actually, when they deal with fibroids. So if you would like to check that out, I talk about the different herbal remedies that I have tried to control some of the bleeding, and it's still working. Even though I have been having lots of pain, the bleeding is lessened by the use of these herbs. So if you would like to check out that video, I will link it on the screen now, and I'll also put a link down in the description box. Let me know, leave a comment and tell me if you have tried any of those things, and just let me know if you decide to watch that video. But for the purposes of this video, I want to talk about what I have learned to do in order to manage my mental health as best as I can, while also being in pain for days on end, obviously. So the first thing that I have learned to do is to accept that I'm in pain. So that might sound crazy, but for me and for a lot of people, kind of like with my personality, or people who are just really trying to do their best to be productive and things like that, accepting that you're in pain is hard to do, because you're mentally trying to like constantly tell yourself that you're okay, or that you don't need medicine, or that you don't need help, or whatever. And by not accepting that you're in pain and what goes along with that, so like the bad emotional feelings that go along with it, obviously being limited on like with what you can go out and do and things like that, by not accepting that you're in pain, that is you're also telling yourself that you don't deserve the things that go along with what you would normally do when you're in pain, which is like rest, take medication, or do some other like natural things to help get yourself a little bit more comfort. So all of those self-care things start with the acknowledgement and the acceptance that, yep, you're in pain and you need to take care of yourself. So one of the first things that I do, well, not one of the first things, but one thing that I've learned to do is just to sit down and say, hey, Nicole, you're in pain, and then go from there. Like, what is what does relief look like? What can I do to get some relief? What can I do to get some help if I need help? Thankfully, my pain is not debilitating most days, and so I am able to cook for myself and, you know, do whatever I need to do. But on the days where I am just really feeling very exhausted, bleeding for 2 weeks will do that to you apparently. You're not supposed to bleed that much. But on those days when I really need to like chill out, I don't have the energy, or I'm in a lot of pain, I accept that and then forgive myself, I guess, for being mean to myself, and I seek out help. Help to me, the main thing I do is order food because I cannot stand at the stove and cook when I'm in pain usually, right? So I will order food. That's just a small thing that I do for myself. I guess it's a way to do a little self-care. So acceptance, number one thing. With that in mind, the second thing that I've learned to do is just to rest. Just to rest. I know this sounds revolutionary in American culture to just rest, but being in chronic pain and constantly trying to do stuff, even though you have stuff to do, I can't rest for 2 weeks. I can't rest whenever my period comes. I can't do that. But I can usually find a few hours or even a whole day to just rest, and even giving myself permission to go rest does wonders for the mental health aspect associated with being in chronic pain. And also, I guess I should also say that like my chronic pain is not just associated with fibroids. I also have sciatica, and the placement of my fibroid actually like makes whatever body part push against my sciatic nerve, and so the chronic pain is just not associated with the fibroids. It's also sciatica. So if you have sciatica or you have those symptoms, you understand also that constant back pain and leg pain is also very uncomfortable and horrible to deal with. So, and also very saddening, also bad for your mental health. So, first thing, acceptance. Second thing is rest. And the third and final thing that I do to try to help with the mental health aspects of being in chronic pain is to tell somebody. I usually suffer in silence, whether it is physical pain or mental, emotional pain. Talking about being in any kind of pain is not my strong suit. I am working on that. I am trying to get better. I am trying to become more open and stuff, but it's not my strong suit. And because I have been a very the kind of person that doesn't really talk about stuff, when I have told people, like friends and family, because I usually present as such like a strong and stoic person, most of the times I have not received what I would consider like a lot of care or support. And I think that's because people have the wrong impression about me, that I am like always strong and okay and I'm dealing with it, which I am, but to have some emotional support especially would be very nice. So there's one special person in my family who checks on me and, you know, just believes that I'm in the level of pain or discomfort that I say I am, and I appreciate that. And I recently found out that I have one friend who will also check on me and remember like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? You know, to check on me. So I am very thankful for those people, but it also is my responsibility to communicate how I am feeling with other people so I can give them the chance to support me. And that is something that I usually have a hard time doing. Now, whether the friend or family member decides to support me or be nice or check on me or whatever, that's their stuff. But the thing that I can control is being vulnerable enough to share what I am going through. So I'm very thankful for the people who check on me and stuff. It helps a lot with the mental health aspects of dealing with chronic pain. So those are my 3 things: acceptance and rest and communicating your needs. Communicating your needs can also look like letting your manager know, your clients, however you make your money, letting them know, not like what's going on with your body, but being upfront about where you are physically and how physically any physical issues may affect your productivity, and just being very upfront about that, drawing boundaries if you need to, and just being frank about what you can and can't get done. So those are my 3 personal methods that I use to help me mentally deal with what it feels like to be in chronic pain. If you have any suggestions for our growing friends and family here at Loved and Listened To, please make sure to leave a comment down below. If you can relate to any of this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and you can also check out one of these other videos that's on your screen right now if you would like to hear more about Mental Health Mondays, or just join me on my journey to helping people deal with mental health and wellness issues. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and until next time, I hope that you are loved and listened to. Bye for now, and namaste.